Hello, everybody. This is Card Guy Chris Ellis.
With Collectible Chris. And right before we do our mid-season awards, we're going to talk about our Week 8 predictions. And we both had above 500 records, but Dad was 9-6, and I was actually 10-5 for once. The Vikings and the Commanders helped me out, even though Commanders won by one. But yes, go Commanders. So our players of the week, congrats to Christian McCaffrey being named the player of the week with his rushing, receiving, and passing touchdowns this week. Who do you have as your player of the week?
I got Christian McCaffrey.
Okay, McCaffrey had a great week. He was named player of the week. I thought Tua's game was impressive, though, with the Dolphins against the Lions. He was 29 for 36 with 382 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, and no interceptions. So I'm going with Tua, but McCaffrey does deserve it. So good job, McCaffrey. Who'd you going with rookie of the week this week?
I actually got 2 rookies, one for rookie of the week and one for defensive player of the week.
Okay.
For the rookie of the week, I got Kenneth Walker III.
Okay.
He had a good game with Seattle. And my defensive player of the week is Gardner for the Jets, the corner, because he had a good shutdown game.
Okay. I mean, I'll go with that. Yeah, 2 good picks. Rookie of the week, I'm going with Garrett Wilson. Kenneth did have a touchdown. It's just that Wilson caught 115 receiving yards with just 6 catches. So
He had a good game.
I'm going with Wilson with Rookie of the Week. Defense Player of the Week, I'm going with Javon Curse for Dallas. He has 6 tackles with 2 as assisted tackles, but as a secondary man had a sack. So
He had a good game. I mean, the defense had a pretty good game.
Yep.
And stuff, so that was not bad at all.
All right, so we are doing our midseason awards since we just passed Week 8, and of course we have the extended season this year going to Week 18. So do you want to go AFC or NFC first?
It don't matter.
I have AFC first on the
list. That's
fine. So do we want to go from rookie up to MVP or MVP down?
Well, I got comeback player of the year, coach of the year. Then I got my rookie defensive player of the year, rookie offensive player of the year, defense player of the year, offensive player of the year, and MVP.
Okay.
So how you want to do it?
Let's go ahead and what was it?
Comeback.
Oh, comeback player. Yeah, we can do a comeback player of the year then, and comeback then coach.
Yeah, we'll do it that way.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, so AFC comeback player of the year. Who do you have?
For the AFC, I got Tua.
I got Tua as well.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's got 130 attempts. 186 attempts, 130 completions. He's thrown over 1,600 yards, 12 TDs, 3 interceptions at the 112.7 rating. He's also ran the ball 13 times for 35 yards and 2.7. So he's had a pretty good year. How about you? What are you saying about Tua on that one?
I mean, Tua, even now coming back from a concussion mid-season and coming back and just doing what he does, I mean, he is the piece that's been missing with Miami. So, like, Tua, AFC-wise, I mean, you can go with a few other players, but I think Tua has shown the most progression.
Well, that too, and plus last year, all that talk about him, not wanting him to be the QB and not being able to pass the ball down the field, I think that's kind of squashed.
Especially now since Waddle is having a great sophomore year, and of course the addition to Hill is just unbelievable.
Yeah.
So I will agree with that. So coach of the year, I'm actually giving it to the Dolphins head coach Mike McDaniel.
That's a good one.
I just think he has done wonderfully. Even have Bridgewater as the backup, and him bringing Bridgewater in. Bridgewater also hasn't had bad games. It's just that they haven't gotten the win with Bridgewater with Tua out. But the fact of the matter is he has helped bring pieces and has helped out with the running game as well as keeping the big pieces like Mike Gesicki was coming off of free agency and he's on the back. Again, Tyreek Hill in it. I think Mike
And then they got that trade with Chubb yesterday from Denver
to
Seattle. Yeah, the trade deadline was yesterday, so Chubb going to Denver to Miami really helped.
Hold up, Bradley Chubb?
Yeah.
The linebacker, right?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's got to help out their linebacker core because they got a decent secondary. They got a decent front four, so that Chubb as a middle linebacker. Dolphins defense is reemerge again. Yeah.
Yeah. I got Robert Saleh from the Jets.
Okay. That's great, especially getting
Yeah,
Flacco to get his comeback a little bit before Wilson. So
yeah. I mean, um,
and he really wanted Hall and Wilson too.
yeah.
So him bringing in the two key rookies.
I mean, they had a great rookie. I mean, their rookie class for the first round alone. You got Wilson, you got Gardner, and you also got well, Hall was a third round pick. I
No,
think.
Hall was a third round pick, but he
But
emerged.
still, so that's who I got. What you got for rookie defensive player of the year for the?
For the AFC, I am going with a cornerback from Buffalo, Kyer Elam. As a corner, he has 21 solo tackles with 10 assisted tackles with 2 interceptions. He is a coverage type of corner, not a shutdown corner just because he is a rookie, but just watching him in some of the games this year, especially this past weekend, he's really a good young corner, and we don't see that quite often. That we usually see them emerge by year 3, but he is coming up strong.
That's a good pick. I'm going to go with a corner too. But I'm going with Sauce Gardner from the Jets.
Okay.
He's got 37 total tackles, 22 assisted. 22 solo, 10 assisted. He only has 1 interception for 3 yards, but the thing that makes it for me is he's got 12 pass defenses.
Okay, and Alum has 7, so I mean, I'll give that. Yeah.
Yeah, Alom's got more, other statistics, so I can see where that is definitely going. So that, yeah, I can see where you're going with that on that one.
Yeah.
What about your next one?
Offensive rookie.
Yeah.
Offensive rookie. Unfortunately, he's hurt.
Yep.
Brees Hall.
Yeah. Same here.
463 rushing yards with 4 touchdowns, 0 fumbles. For a rookie, 0 fumbles, and he had 218 receiving yards with 1 TD before getting hurt with that ACL. Sadly, he got hurt. I really wanted him to be a rookie of the year. And honestly, there's not much good AFC offensive rookies. If Pickens can pick it up, maybe Pickens can get it because Kenny Pickett and Mitchell are still battling for the quarterback position.
Yeah.
So if Pickens can get more touches, hopefully by the quarterbacks
Well,
just
Wilson.
growing.
Well, I think Wilson can be up there too.
Oh yeah, I mean Wilson has 555 receiving, only a few touchdowns though.
He's not getting thrown at. Looked at a lot from
Uh,
Zach.
Yeah.
Other for this game. Last game he did.
Last game he did just not in the red zone, and like Flacco passed it to him in the red zone.
Yeah.
So hopefully Wilson can see that, and Wilson can then get AFC Rookie of the Year. But if Kenny Pickett picks it up, then he'll get it. But we'll see.
I got the same guy. I got Brees Hall. Of course, that's going to change come the end of the year. At the beginning of the year, my Rookie of the Year was Pickett. But Hall's been, definitely, Hall was on a pace to definitely blow people away, for sure. On NFL, though, it has him with 1 fumble.
Oh, okay. Because on Football Reference, they had him with 0.
Okay. Well, yeah,
It's less than 3.
Yeah, it's between 0 and 1, so that's
Yeah.
pretty good for a rookie,
Oh yeah.
especially a running back.
Defensive Player of the Year for the AFC. Who do you have?
Well, this guy just got traded from Chicago to Baltimore. Marcus Smith.
Ooh.
So I'm putting him as the defense. I know it usually doesn't happen this way because they usually split the stats, but as of right now, he would probably have been my NFC. But since he's in the AFC, he's got 83 total tackles, 44 solos, 31 assisted, 2.5 sacks, 2 interceptions for 22 yards.
Ooh.
So
Okay.
Baltimore's going to look a little scary.
Baltimore has always been a scary defense, no
Yeah.
matter what. So,
Yeah.
I'm going with another Buffalo guy, Matt Milano, outside linebacker.
Morales having a good year.
31 solo tackles with 6 assisted, with 2 interceptions, and actually a defensive touchdown as well. Really good coverage. A linebacker really reminds me of Ray Lewis as a coverage guy. He doesn't really sprint on the quarterback as much because he is known as the middle of the field general
Yeah.
for Buffalo. And last year he was great for Buffalo, but he's having a monstrous year. And I think the help of Von Miller has helped because his one TD actually came from a deflection from Von Miller. So, which is funny.
Yeah.
So, but Matt is my defensive guy for sure.
Okay, I already said my defensive guy. So we're at the offensive player of the year.
Yes, and
Who you go?
Offensive player of the year from the Tennessee Titans, Derrick Henry. 755 rushing yards as of after week 8 with 7 touchdowns, 1 fumble, with 140 yards receiving. So he is, he's still projected to get 1,200 rushing yards, which he usually does. Even after being hurt, I could have him as my comeback player of the year, so as so many others as well. But production-wise, with the 7 TDs and him helping Tennessee like he always does, and Henry is being Henry.
I'm going to go with the running back too, but I'm going with Nick Chubb.
Okay.
149 carries, 841 yards. He's averaging 5.6 yards a carry. He has 10 rushing touchdowns.
Okay.
They're not using him as much in the passing game as they should probably. He's only got 10 catches for 70 yards, no touchdowns, but he also has no fumbles.
Okay.
So that's pretty good for a running back that's getting the ball pretty good amount of time.
Yeah, because Kareem is usually used more for the passing behind the backfield. So
Yep.
That's understandable. Chubb's not a bad pick either. I didn't know he had 10 touchdowns, honestly. So offensive player of the year production wise, I'll give it a Chubb. Chubb and Henry are always neck and neck. Taylor ain't gonna get it this year.
No, Taylor, yeah.
Because Taylor's hurt. The McCaffrey effect, basically.
Yeah.
So. All right, MVP. I think we both agree on the MVP for the AFC. So let me go ahead. I haven't looked at your list anyway, so let me go ahead and say it. Is it the guy from Buffalo?
Yeah, this is a guy from Buffalo.
Mr. Josh Allen.
Yep.
2,198 passing yards with 19 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, which is actually his lowest so far in his 4-year career, and also his highest touchdowns. 65.5% passing rate. 206 rushing yards with 2 touchdowns, but also on the
You mean 306?
300. Yeah, 300 is my bad.
Yeah, he's
My 3 looked like a 2 right there. My bad. With 2 touchdowns, but unfortunately with sacks and him running the ball, 3 fumbles. So
yeah,
not 9 turnovers altogether, but still not bad considering AFC is built more on defense.
Yep. Allen's the guy. I mean, I think it's going to be interesting when we see the NFC side a little bit. I think it's definitely going to be interesting.
Oh yeah, I agree. All right, so shall we begin with the NFC with our comeback player of the year?
Yep.
Comeback. Did we agree on comeback player of the year?
I put Geno Smith.
I put Geno Smith as well. Geno Smith, 1,924 passing yards, 13 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, with 158 rushing yards, 1 TD rushing wise, 2 fumbles, which is still not bad. So 5 turnovers.
Not bad at all.
With a 72.7% passing percentage.
Which is the highest in the NFL.
Which is the highest in the NFL. The guy that no one believed in, even us, because we said that the Lions in Seattle would be the lowest, I think. We said Seattle, Lions, and...
I had the Bears.
Who is actually having not a bad year. Because I said Seattle, Lions, and...
I said that
Jets.
the Seahawks and the Jets would be fighting for the top pick.
Which is not the case anymore.
No, definitely not the case. So, but
we were doubters, and Geno is really doing well. Seattle's 5-3. So,
yeah, Geno's having a heck of a year. I think definitely if he keeps what he's doing, he's definitely. If they don't decide to sign him, he's definitely getting looked at for a starting job next year.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's no
100%.
Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind. He's
comfortable.
Yeah, I think that system I think the system they fitted it around him once they knew he was the starting quarterback, because it's not like he's not doing too much and he's not forcing it. Plus, he's got a rookie running back that's doing really good. He's got Lockett, and then other it's more of a team of role players than stars.
Yeah.
Right now, so
so basically, when you say it like that, I'm thinking of like the 2011 Niners.
Yeah, basically.
Because there was a bunch of role players. I mean, you had your
you always have your one or two
pros.
stars. Yeah,
yeah. Because I mean, it was Gore, Smith, Davis, and Willis. But then everyone kind of collected and then beat the Saints in the playoffs. Yeah. So yeah, I will agree with that, because like the star in Seattle, the two stars were really Lockett and DK.
Well, you also got Jamal Adams, but he got hurt the first game of the year.
Exactly, and then
that hurt them. I think a lot more people thought that was going to be the real downfall, was once Adams got hurt.
Yeah.
So,
but Seattle's defense has still kept up, which is good.
Who you got for the coach of the year this year?
I think we're both in the same division, just different teams. I'm going with Brian DeBall of the New York Giants. Because
Brian's doing really good.
Because the thing is, the Giants were voted as the worst team of the NFL, and they are 6-2 and have a wild card spot, tied with the Cowboys.
Yeah,
and we did not see that coming, honestly. No. So Brian Daboll has really helped, and I think with Saquon really being healthy this year has really helped the Giants. So Brian Daboll is my pick.
Yeah, I got Nick Sirianni from Philly. Yeah.
Undefeated.
I mean, he's doing a great job with that team. I mean, they've just made some excellent moves and done stuff to keep everything in line. So yeah, that's where I'm going for on that. Who's your rookie defensive player of the year?
I really want to say Quay, but he does not have sacks or turnovers at all.
Yeah.
So I'm going with the Lions, Aiden Hutchinson. He only has 11 solo tackles and 7 assisted, but the one key difference among other rookies is that he has 4.5 sacks.
I went with Hutchinson too. Same reason.
Okay.
I mean, Hutchinson's out of the defensive player rookie wise, he's on. I mean, Thibodeau's okay. He's trying to get in there, but it's just
because Kayvon has 2 sacks, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, Kayvon has 2 sacks. Jordan Davis has 1. And Jordan is a defensive lineman, so him is kind of tough.
Yeah.
With Quay, it's tough because he's more of a coverage guy over a pass rush. And, I mean, you're right. I completely agree. Offensive Rookie of the Year, I had trouble with this 100%.
I think if you go with one of the two guys I'm thinking, you can't really go wrong with it. Because they had a stat yesterday. If you're going with Ovale, they had a stat yesterday that the air yards, he has the most air yards as a receiver. Jamar Chase had the most air yards as a receiver and won the Rookie of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year. So if you go with Ovale, which is a good choice because he's going to be, the primary receiver, I think. Anyway, but I went with Kenneth Walker III from the Seahawks.
I mean, Kenneth has done well the past few weeks. It's just at the start of the season, he didn't have a good feel of it.
Yeah, I mean, he's a rookie, so yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, he is doing better. Like in the last 3 weeks, honestly, he's emerged.
He's averaging over 5 yards a carry. He has 5 rushing touchdowns. He's not used a lot receiving wise.
Well, he was never a good. He didn't have like the hands.
Oh yeah,
in college, and I think Carroll wants him to have more of that role. It's just that after seeing McCaffrey, after seeing Taylor do so much, a lot of coaches are starting to pull it back a little bit. That's why, like Debo and San Fran, he's able to get the touches more because he has that wide receiver body. He's able to go long.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of people use that flex. But you're right. I'm going with Chris Olave because of his 547 reception yards. He only has 2 touchdowns this year, but it's one more than Kyle Pitts from last year.
Yes, it is. It definitely is.
Sorry, I still collect Kyle Pitts. I still think he'll do great, but
He had a good game the other day.
yeah, he did.
So,
All right, Defensive Player of the Year. I think both of us are going with the same guy, so I'll go ahead and let you take care of that one.
I'm going with Michael Parsons.
Agreed.
36 total tackles, 24 solo, 10 assisted. He doesn't have a lot of total tackles or tackles, period, because he's usually rushing the quarterback a lot. So he has 8 sacks and he has 2 passes defended this year. So,
Also, 2 forced fumbles and 1 fumble recovery.
so you see, he's he's the leader of the Cowboys defense.
And if he's not rushing the quarterback, he's getting to the running back.
Yeah. So
I mean, that's the majority of his solo tackles anyway.
yeah. So I wouldn't. So that's where that is on that aspect for sure.
So, Offensive Player of the Year, we both have different guys because I'm actually doing a curve out of left field. I'm going with Saquon Barkley.
I almost went with Saquon.
And because he has 779 rushing yards, 5 touchdowns, 1 fumble, but he also has 189 yards receiving as well. So he's above 900 scrimmage yards.
Oh yeah, he's
So, and Saquon is getting better, and I think he's out of that fear that he's going to get hurt again because he's taken some hits.
yeah.
But at the same time, he's
Yeah.
gone back up and he's ran the ball.
Yeah,
So
he's gotten better at that. I am going to go with Justin Jefferson from Minnesota,
okay,
wide receiver. He has 52 catches for 752 yards. So he's averaging 14.5 per catch. He has only 2 receiving touchdowns, which is really weird for a team of Minnesota that's doing so well.
yeah,
But he does have 1 rushing touchdown, so he's got 3
Yeah.
total TDs.
yeah, because most of the touchdowns has come from Dalvin and Thielen this year, right?
And another guy too. Now they tied in from Detroit now.
Yeah, that's right. TJ.
Yeah.
Oh, so TJ is now with Minnesota, and which Kirk needed. Kirk needed that tight end presence.
Yeah,
anyway,
because
so,
a lot of people weren't happy with Smith right now.
Yeah,
I expect Jefferson's TD numbers to go up eventually, just because I think they're covering him more than they're covering the other guys.
yeah,
They're putting 2 on him and less on the others.
yeah. He ain't AJ Brown. He ain't catching all them shots. You see, I almost went with AJ over Jefferson.
Well, AJ would have been a good pick too.
So like Saquon, Jefferson, and AJ, I think it will be. I think they'll be the like top 5.
Yeah, I
for
mean,
sure.
you put an all pro when you do the all pro team, it's going to be like
Because like I was my top 3 was Saquon. It was Saquon, Tyreek. Tyreek's AFC. What am I thinking? It was Saquon, Debo, and CD. Were my top 3.
okay. I can see that. CD had a good game the other day.
Yeah.
So I mean,
So NFC, I think it's more competitive than AFC.
yeah,
honestly,
and
with
some of these
offense.
awards, yes, yeah,
Because like people were expecting Cooper Kupp to do a repeat, but he's gotten the yards. He just doesn't have as much production.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
I mean, we can say that about the whole Rams.
yeah. We can yeah. All right, it's our MVP for the NFC. Who you got?
I'm going with the comeback player. I'm going with Geno. Mainly because now you cannot go wrong with Jalen Hurts. The only difference is with me against Jalen is the fact that Geno has 50 yards less of passing, but he has the better interception TD rating as well as fumbles, and also the passer rating. I think that is going to help Geno more. But you cannot go wrong with Jalen just because of how well he's been doing.
Yeah,
So, but I think it's going to be Geno just because of how well he has managed.
yeah,
Now, Jalen is going to throw more touchdowns, so Jalen will get MVP at the end of the year. But as of right now, I have to give it to Geno.
I mean, Hurts has got over 1,700 passing yards, 10 TDs, 2 interceptions. His rating 105.0 is 2.2 lower than Geno's. But he is doing something that Geno's not doing. Well, he is doing 35 carries is a pretty good amount for a quarterback, but Hurts has ran the ball 79 times. out of for 303 yards with almost 4 yards a carry.
Yeah.
But he also has 6 rushing touchdowns. So
Right.
he has 16 total TDs compared to Geno's 14.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's kind of weird because you look at the offense, you would think that the running backs for Philly would be doing better than the running back for Seattle, but it's the other way around.
Yeah, because we all thought that the running backs would get more touches just because everyone believed that Geno wasn't going to do well, and also Hurts. Like, Hurts, Geno, and Tua were the most controversial this year, and now it's swapped to where it's now Stafford and Burrow. So,
Yeah,
the Super Bowl of last year.
yeah. So it's kind of weird. I mean,
I got nothing wrong with Hurts. I mean, Hurts
No,
has had
no, no. I mean,
a monstrous year.
you can go with. I mean, this is mid-season, so I mean, these are probably. I mean, at the end of the year, these all could change. Because at the beginning of the year, we didn't do it AFC, NFC. We just did it as the regular. But like Coach of the Year, I had Mike McDaniel at the beginning of the year.
Yeah,
For Comeback Player of the Year, I had Matt Ryan. Obviously, that's
out the window.
yeah. Defensive Rookie of the Year, I had Gardner. Offensive Rookie of the Year, I had Kenny Pickett.
I had Isaiah Spiller for the Chargers, and Isaiah hasn't gotten any playing time. So
Defensive Player of the Year, I went with Aaron Donald.
he hasn't had a bad year. It's
no.
just that Micah has really,
Offensive Player of the Year, I went with Jamar Chase.
which is still a bad thing.
I mean, and the MVP, Josh Allen.
Yeah.
So I mean, so if you look at it, it's not too bad, you know.
Oh, it's not.
So what have we got next?
Our latest game that we haven't done in a while, but we did baseball opinion, so it's now football opinion. So I've got 4 questions for you, and of course, I feel free to give me your opinion and also explain a little bit, Dad.
Mm-hmm.
Question number 1: what is the most underrated position in the NFL and why?
Most underrated position in the NFL. Ooh. I'm going to say safety.
Free safety or strong safety? Or both?
I'm going to go free safety
Okay, well, why the free safety?
because he's usually coming down the line and moving around a lot. The strong safety is usually back. So, where's it the other way around?
Well, your strong safety is usually the one that's covering where the most dominant player that will go deep the field, and then the free safety is able to move around to make sure. So I think the strong goes forward where the free safety goes back.
So the strong safety would be in run coverage.
Yeah, exactly, just to be on the safe side.
Okay, so I mean the strong safety probably because of run coverage. I mean you had some great strong safeties in Ronnie Lott and
Charles Woodson for sure.
Yeah, so I mean, and Rod Woodson, and you had Steve Atwater. Probably now there's not many. You don't hear about a lot of the names for the strong safety position. So
Okay, fair. I mean, the one big name for me right now is still Harrison Smith, and he's still producing well.
oh yeah,
in
Harrison,
Minnesota.
yeah, he had a good game this last game.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's. I mean, the safety position in all, I think it's underrated.
Okay. Mine is actually the fullback.
The fullback has been the full.
Because like fantasy, it's not fullback. They still have them as halfbacks. And when I think of fullbacks, I think of Okoye. I still think of Mike Tolbert still, and like
Mike Tolbert, Zonka, Mike
Alcott.
Mike Allstott,
Is so like the fullback position is basically
Keith
your.
Byers.
Oh man, I forgot about him. Shoot. And like the fullback is used as a runner, and he's also used as an extra blocker. So like the fullback is the most underrated because they do not gain the most appreciation for the offensive line.
It's true. If you're not doing I think more teams should use a fullback in their blocking for their running back and their quarterbacks. And the only fullback right now that most people know is the one for San Fran.
Yeah.
So okay, what's the next question?
Your opinion, who are the top 3 active tight ends?
top 3 active tight ends?
Yes.
Well, Kelsey's one. Let me think here. David Njoku for Cleveland. He's probably not number 2. He's probably number 3, but I'm trying to think of the number 2 for me.
Okay, is it Andrews or is it Kittle?
Ooh. I think I'm going to go Kittle. I go Kelsey, Kittle, and David. And Andrews is fourth.
Fourth?
Barely.
Yeah, because, like, I'm the same way, but I actually have a Jobu over Kelsey because Kelsey does not have the touchdowns like he should. He's got the yards.
Yeah, they haven't really used David that much. Well, early on, they've used him a lot recently, but early this year they weren't using him a lot. And I think that was a mistake.
Yeah, and I think they finally learned that. And Jobu actually has the most production since his emergence because he has more touchdowns than Kelsey, and he also is on pace to have more yards than Kelsey as of right now. So I got Jobu 1, Kelsey 2, and then Kittle 3. And Kittle was hurt. If Kittle didn't get hurt, I think he would have passed Kelsey.
I mean, Andrews is a good tight end, don't get me wrong, but I would put him probably at close. He could easily be tied at third.
Oh, yeah, 100%. And Jackson throws to him. That ain't the problem. Well, the problem is he's not getting the yards after catch like he used to.
Yeah.
And
well, I think he's more the primary receiver now.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's probably why.
All right. You ready for number 3?
Yep.
Will the Eagles be undefeated this year? If not, who will be the team to beat them?
It's hard to go undefeated in the NFC East, and only one team's ever done it, and that's the Cowboys a couple of years ago. I think it's going to be a team from the East.
Because they got to face the Cowboys one more time.
And they got to play Dallas in Texas.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good game. I mean,
And Prescott will be back in this game.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and plus, if they have Pollard doing what he's doing and the defense playing the way it is, I'll say Dallas. I think it might be someone else other than that, but off the top of my head, I think it'll be the Cowboys.
Because I think the Eagles face Tampa Bay, but Tampa Bay is not a top contender anymore.
They play Tampa Bay this weekend, I think.
Yeah, so I'm like, hold up. Let me double check. No, Eagles are facing Texans.
Oh, well, I don't see that happening.
Yeah. Now, we've, especially with that 1 week of where I went 5-9.
Yeah.
Like, anything's possible. But if Dallas doesn't beat them, will they be undefeated for the rest of the year?
No. Someone's going to beat them. They'll have a loss. Where in there, it's going to be.
Okay, but the biggest opponent that they got is Dallas.
Yes, I feel your conference rival playing them because you played them in Philly. Now you got to play them in Dallas. And so let's see how it goes.
And then whoever gets the wild card spot.
Philly will still win the division.
Oh yeah.
I don't think the Giants have the team.
Oh well.
I don't.
Okay. Dallas is better than the Giants, so Dallas will pass the Giants, but those two will still have wild card spots.
There will be 3 teams from the East to make the playoffs.
Yes, agreed.
The only team that won't is the Commanders.
With Hinkie back though, that's gonna be questionable.
Well, Hinkie's. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people like him, including his team. So
exactly, and people wanted him to start including me because I thought Hinkie was the answer, and then they brought in Carson Wentz. I'm like, that was the dumbest decision.
Yeah.
So now, last question: who has been the most disappointed team this year?
Most disappointing team? I'm gonna say the Colts.
Ooh. Okay.
I'm gonna say.
Okay, why are the Colts over the Lions and the Raiders?
The Raiders are, wow.
Sorry.
It's all good.
No, I mean, that's all right.
I just think the Colts had so much promise, and a lot of people were picking them to make the playoffs. So Detroit is one of those teams. The offense is great. It's just the defense is like killing them, and the Raiders I don't get. I mean the Raiders could easily be number one, but off the top of my head, I'm thinking the Colts.
Okay. I mean, I honestly said Raiders just because they have the talent and they're just not producing. So it's either they need a change. I'm not gonna say a change in quarterback, even though a lot of people are saying change in quarterback. I think that they need a change of defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Because their offensive coordinator hasn't done a terrible job. The game against the Saints, we're not going to discuss that. But their head coach has managed it well. It's just that and most of their games they lost were close. Except for the one this past weekend. So I think it's the defense.
Definitely possible.
All right. So are we moving to our Week 9 predictions?
Yep.
All right. Week 9 predictions. Thursday night, Eagles versus Texans.
Eagles.
And I'm going to Eagles there too. Next one, Colts versus Patriots.
Where is that in New England?
New England.
Let's go Patriots on that one.
I'm going with Patriots just because.
Sam did have a good game, though. I was impressed.
I mean, the Pats beat the Jets, which we were both surprised on, honestly. And I think Mac finally reemerged, so that's going to be good for them. This next game, I had a little trouble. Packers versus Lions in Detroit.
I'm going Packers.
I'm also going with Packers. The only reason why I'm almost went for the Lions is because I just think their offense is too much for that defense. But Rodgers is going to get ticked off to the point where he's just going to have the best game in his life, and this might be it. So,
yeah.
Chargers versus Falcons in Atlanta.
Ooh. That's going to be a good game, I think.
Oh, yeah, it should.
I like Justin Herbert in this, but I also like how Mariota is playing. And Allinger and Pitts got into the game a lot. I think I'll go Falcons.
I'm going with Falcons just because of the home record this year has been well for Atlanta.
Yeah.
The next one might be the game of the week. Bills versus Jets.
In New York?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's going to be a close game, I think.
Yeah, Miami was tough on the.
I think the Bills will win, but it's going to be a close game.
I agree. I just think Allen's just a better quarterback. So, yeah. Vikings versus Commanders in Washington.
I'm going to go with the Vikings. Kirk Cousins coming back to the team that drafted him. So that's going to be interesting.
I'm going with Vikings just because I think Kirk is just on a different level. So, the next one I had a little trouble, especially after their performance, but I think Joe is going to have a vengeance. Panthers versus Bengals in Cincinnati.
I'm going with the Bengals on this one. I think if the Bengals would have won, I think I'd go with the Panthers, just the way the Panthers are playing. But, yeah, I'd go with Bengals on that one.
Okay. Raiders versus Jaguars in Jacksonville.
Wow. If Riley was actually not suspended and could play in the Jaguars game, that'd be...
Oh, yeah, that would have been a great comeback.
I'm going Raiders.
You're going Raiders?
Yep,
Wow.
I'm going Raiders.
I'm going with Jacksonville just because of how they play in Jacksonville, and I think that rookie linebacker has just showed. So I'm going with Jags on that one. Dolphins versus Bears in Chicago.
I'm going to go Dolphins, but Chase Claypool is going to help out Fields a lot, I think.
Oh, so Claypool did go to Chicago?
Yeah.
That's the dumbest thing. Another dumb thing the Steelers have done this year. Seahawks versus Cardinals in Arizona.
I'm going to go Cardinals, even though I don't think he still hasn't studied the playbook at all yet. So
I'm going with Seattle just
probably
due
smart.
to the fact.
That's a smart pick.
I'm going with Seattle just due to the fact that I just think they're a better overall team.
I think the Cardinals have the better individual players, but Seattle has the better overall team.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah.
All right, this next game, another tough one: Rams versus Bucks in Tampa Bay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm going to go Bucks just because it's in Tampa. But I could see the Rams blowing them out.
I'm going with the Rams just because of one player, Cooper Kupp. Titans versus Chiefs in Kansas City.
Now, this would be weird if the Titans do what the 49ers and other teams have done to the Chiefs and run the ball. The Titans have a chance.
I agree.
And Willis can run the ball too. So, toss up. It's in Kansas City though, and Kansas City's tough to win in.
Always has.
Let's go Kansas. Let's go Kansas City.
I mean, I agree with you. I almost went with Tennessee just because it has the best running back, and every other team that's ran on the Kansas City, they do it. But I just think the Chiefs, and like you said, in Kansas City is just going to be tough. So the Chiefs.
This last one's going to be a tough one.
Ravens versus Saints in New Orleans.
We got Andy Dalton's not been playing bad.
Especially this past weekend.
You got Tyson Hill doing everything.
You got Chris Olave re-emerging. You got Michael Thomas coming back.
You know what? I think the Saints are the underdog in this game, right?
They are. They are a underdog by 7 points. So a touchdown.
I'm picking the Saints. I just think the way the Saints are playing right now, if they keep the way they're playing, it's going to be hard in matching up with the Ravens.
Yeah.
There's a big matchup, even though the Ravens got a brand new linebacker that's going to help out. And they always have a good defense, but their sole Lamar Jackson centralized. That I don't know,
I can't agree to that. I just think Lamar is going to be able to scramble a little bit more in this one.
Yeah.
And their Saints are good against the rush, which I'm a little afraid of. But the last time Lamar faced a team that was good against the rush, he passed the ball, and he passed over 300 yards.
Oh, yeah.
So due to that fact, I think Lamar is going to pass that ball, and he's going to have a monstrous passing game. Probably not 300 yards passing. I think he'll hit about 250.
Oh, yeah. We probably can also talk about the college rankings next week.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. College rankings and... what did we say we were going to talk about?
Baseball.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
If the end of the baseball season is...
Right, because, Tennessee is number 1. But guess who Tennessee is playing this weekend?
Oh, it's going to be a good game.
Oh, it's going to be the best game.
Georgia and Tennessee are going to be a good game.
Now,
I'm actually hoping Tennessee beats Georgia just to throw a wrench in everything.
Ooh.
Georgia's probably going to be...
Also, Bama against LSU this weekend.
Oh, that's... Ooh.
So LSU beats Bama. Bama's not even going to be in the top 10.
LSU is... And it's at LSU.
That's at
You know.
It's at a DFL.
Claire is happy about that.
Oh, yeah. I hope she gets in. And also, TCU is undefeated, and yet they got number 7.
Yeah, I mean, there's some rankings that are a little. Clemson's had a lot of close games this year, and they're ranked 4th?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're undefeated, but they've been close to losing a lot of games.
What gets me is that Ohio State is still ranked number 2. Like, I don't think they deserve 2nd. If I was voting and I did the votes, I would have had Tennessee 1, Georgia 2, Ohio State 3, TCU 4.
Yeah, the way they look at teams that are not in big conferences, it's
yeah, and like TCU in the 2010s was a power team.
Well, if you look at them right now, TCU's always had some decent players and stuff like that. So
Andy Dalton,
Tomlinson.
I forgot LaDainian is from TCU.
Yep, he was a Horned Frog.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. But Yeah, we can definitely talk about. Are we gonna do the top 10 ranks, or are we gonna do the top 25?
We do top 10.
Top 10.
We talk about the top 25. That might take a little while.
Yeah. So
You know,
next week we're gonna do the top 10 college rankings. Do our opinion on that. We already gave a little opinion already on that on here, but we're also gonna go ahead and do our final of the year. Final awards of the year for the baseball season. We'll look back at our previous. Sorry.
awards.
Oh, sorry, my stomach. My stomach. Our previous award winners. So we're also gonna talk about who were our chosen ones.
Yep.
But since we're both Braves fans, congratulations to Swanson for getting his Gold Glove. He definitely deserved it after this year.
You saw that Freed got it too, right?
Oh, Max Fried.
Yeah. So he got a second year in a row.
The second year in a row, even being hurt.
Yep.
So Max Fried, even being hurt, got his. So congrats to him as well. Phillies are now up 2-1 on the Astros at this time. So hopefully the World Series will end. That way we can go ahead and do the awards next week. So next week we'll do the awards. We'll do our top 10 college predictions and opinions, as well as Week 10 predictions with football.
All right. Anything else?
Nothing at this time.
Card Guy Chris Ellis on Facebook.
Collectible Chris on TikTok. Thank y'all for subscribing on the YouTube channel and also joining the Chris Ellis Card Guy on Facebook.
And everybody, we'll talk to you later. Bye.